So the healing going on, we felt it, right? Our life, if you think about it, is really created and directed by the choices we make. And actually, healing is a choice because it's always going on. We know, we profess, we teach, a main tenet of our teaching is God is all there is, and God is love. And we know that love is the grandest healing power. We heard that in the song. There is. You could feel it, the emotion from our sharing about Hanukkah and the stories of the past and remembrances of different things. Sharon and Sage, thank you, and Kathy and Roger, all the Christmases we've spent together. And we both have a very special connection to that beautiful Howard Thurman reading. So the healing's going on, and it doesn't mean everything feels good all the time or everything is in perfect order. Because on this physical plane, healing is very different than the spiritual healing I'm going to talk about today. The spiritual healing happens in that power we know as God that is always good, because God is the healer in us. And when we tap in, this is the spiritual healing, to that power within us, that goodness, that perfection. And when we say, I am perfect, whole, and complete, it's not a lie. There is a place in us always, can never fluctuate, that is perfect, whole, and complete. Now, the physical healing on this plane of existence is different. The most that I learned about healing, and really the difference between spiritual healing and physical healing, is when we opened our angel store. It was a year after our 15-year-old daughter made her transition in a car accident, and I tried going back to teaching elementary school, which I always loved, and Kirk always said, how can anybody love their job so much as you do teaching? But I couldn't do it anymore. It brought me too much sadness, and I knew I wasn't giving my best. So I said, what can I do? We opened an angel store. And believe me, that's a place where you learn a lot about healing, because angels are always here to help us in that process. So people would come in the store wanting to get something inspirational for someone who needed healing. So it's that gift of love that we saw so much. But then people would come in that needed healing, people that had illnesses, and they needed that support. And if you talk to them and say, well, what are you getting from, what's happening? How are you doing? You'd learn that if you had that spiritual connection to God, which is wholeness, which I'll talk about in a minute, physical illness can bring great awakening, great understanding, greater compassion, greater appreciation. And then you'd hear people that came in and had miraculous healings, miraculous, and you could feel the power of the angels again doing their work. And what I learned is when you have that deep connection to that center, that God center in you, whatever the external experiences are, a healing can be happening. Now, spiritual healing is defined in our Science of Mind textbook as wholeness, WHOLENESS, not holiness, like a bunch of holes in you, but wholeness. And wholeness means unity with spirit, unity with God, recognizing that we are a God consciousness, a piece of individual God consciousness in this vast, amazing universe. And we're surrounded by this intelligence and this creativity and the possibility that feeds into that center within us. So our job is to clear the path, to make the way. And what a time it is right now, because as you said so beautifully, Sharon, it's a time of great emotion right now. Ups and downs and ins and outs. And it's a time for us to really recognize and own the different feelings we have and what's going on. If you can't connect to that place within you. Now, this is not me saying it, so you don't have to get mad at me, okay? I got it right out of the textbook. It said, if healing does not appear, that spiritual healing, that greater understanding, that knowing, it is because you're hindered by some obstructions, such as obstinance, resistance, and stubbornness. That's terrible, Ernest. You said that? Oh. But then in the next sentence, he also said, the realization of the presence of God is the most healing agency known to the mind of man and women and children and whatever it is. Now, it's not our spiritual nature that needs to be healed. It's already perfect, whole, and complete. But it's our physical mind and our restrictions and our reactions, our mental reactions to life and everything that happens that needs to be healed. Do you agree with that? Do any of you get reactive in life? Why did that happen? Why did that happen to me right now? You know, what happens when well, let me ask you first. We have a built-in faith. All of us have a built-in faith. I mean, think, when you cut yourself and you put a Band-Aid on, you have faith and you're going to heal, right? And when you turn on a light switch, you have faith the light will come on. Now, if your wound doesn't heal or the light doesn't go on, you look for something deeper. Is that correct? We look for something more. I mean, if your light doesn't go on, you change a light bulb. And if it's not that, you check the wiring, maybe switch the plug, switch the source. Too many of us have our source. Don't talk to me like that. Our source plugged into the wrong place. When we plug our source, we get our power from the external world, you know, all of our power out there. There's two reactions we can usually have. It's either personalizing things or projecting things. If we're plugged out there and our partner or our friend comes in or somebody at work's really moody, we go, oh, what did I do? It's all about me, because we think the world is all about us. Or just the opposite, if we are plugged into that source, we can think that, oh, the world out there is doing it to me. And we get mad. And if we may be angry or fearful or upset, and we look and go, you're the one doing it. You're angry. You're making me upset. Not you, really, Lori. I don't know why I looked at you. I'm so sorry. Maybe we're just a safe place. Oh, stop it. But watch out. You have to go home with her. Don't you do that. But, you know, we do that. Yet if we plug in truly to that place in us that knows everything is unfolding for our good, we step away from the self-condemnation. We know there are weird things going on here. Things are falling off here, and this thing's talking to me. There are angels and spirits everywhere. Tammy, where are you? Did you call them in already? Anyway, we know, we stop self-condemning ourselves. We know that there is no sin. We don't believe in sin. Like, we believe in, what do we believe in? We don't believe in sin. Oh, mistakes. We make mistakes so we can learn and grow. We make mistakes. I got really caught up in that sin word for a minute. I better go home and look at that one. But yeah, we believe in mistakes. We make mistakes so we can step into the next best version of ourselves. We don't have to stay stuck. Life is always teaching us. And we don't believe that God punishes us. We believe that, there are consequences for our choices once again. We want to choose different things. So what we need to do to build that strength, we need to make a choice for healing. I want to lead you in a little healing process, if I could. So you know what I'd like you to do? Uncross your legs, put your feet on the floor so you're grounded, sit up straight, and I'm going to just read a little something, because our spiritual power that comes from that place within is directed with our intention, our choices, our thoughts. It's directed by that. And we can raise our vibration, which causes healing in our mind, body, and spirit if we let it. So I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes for a minute. We're going to just let go of the tension and the stress. Just for a minute. Can you do that? I know it's a stressful time, but are you willing to do it for just 1 minute? Yes. Oh, that was really wimpy. That was so wimpy. Yes, we're ready. That's your choice. Remember I told you healing is a choice. Yes, I choose. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath. Breath and spirit. Same word, the breath of life. Now just get as comfortable as you can in this moment. And as I said, just for a few minutes to let go of the discomfort, the stress, the tension of life. Just for this moment, just to make that choice, to let go. And open the space right now to let that presence of God, that presence of Spirit in us, that is greater than we are, but that power that we can use just to feel it inside of us. Know that the body is the house in which God dwells. The body is the place that holds the Spirit. And how blessed we are to have this beautiful vessel, this vehicle of life, that we can experience life here on this planet in such an amazing way. And allow, as you just let go, to let your heart open. Let your heart open and feel the love that's already present. To feel the goodness that's right here in this moment as you let go. And let God, be good, be love, be light as you. And here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to repeat this 3 times, maybe 4, maybe 5, 3 times. And I want you to just hear it. I'll start the first 2 times very slow. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. I'll repeat it 2 more times, and if you want to say it with me, that's great. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And just feel that as that vibrates through your body, as it allows you to up-level your experience. And remember that this energy we live in, this universe we live in, is responsive to us. It's intelligent, it's creative, it responds to us. So as we accept the perfection within us, we are surrounded by that perfection. And we can use it for good. The healing that's going on that they were singing about here wasn't just for individuals. We have the power. Our love has the power to bring people to their center. If we have an act of kindness, if we share a smile, if we see somebody in a better light, if we forgive, we can bring that center, that light, that love, we can activate that in other people. So we have a vision here of creating a world that works for everyone. And people go, oh, that's such a daunting, such a big vision. But what if we do it one person at a time? And if each one of us just makes the intention to bring more love, more goodness, more laughter, more joy to one person, and each person is doing that to one person, we can heal the world. Do you agree? Yes, good.